already showed you how to make Belizean bread pudding, and I'm going to teach you how to make my mom Rosalee's bread pudding. It's the same ingredients, we're just going to design the bread pudding differently. And in the future, I will put up bread and butter pudding, and that was my grandmother's favorite. You're watching the Bear Pantry Chef. So remember from the last time we made the Belizean bread pudding, we had 3 cans of evap milk. See, that's the 3rd can. I'm going to open it in a little while. 3 cans of sweetened condensed, 6 slices of bread, and I did not remove the backs, 5 eggs, and I whipped the eggs already. And then we're going to use some lemon extract. I wanted to do this recipe because this is actually my mom's recipe, and even though all the ingredients are the same and the amount of bread is the same, she does do it a little bit different as far as designing. Remember the last time we took a knife and we cut these into dices, right? Well, look what she does. She puts the bread in a bowl. She uses a pot spoon, but I use a potato squisher. And we squish all the slices of bread right here using the evaporated milk to make it squish. See? It's really, really mushy. And I know other people that pull the bread apart, but we're going to do it like this with a potato squisher. And we're going to do all 6 slices of bread. We're going to add more evaporated milk as we need, because see how it's getting soaked up in there? And in a little while, we're going to add the sweetened condensed milk. So I used 2 cans of the evaporated milk already to make it mushy like this. And I'm squishing it with the potato masher. Like I said, my mom uses a pot spoon. It just seems a lot more work for me to do that. And by the way, on this one, we're going to put raisins. I know the last bread pudding I did, Belizean bread pudding, I didn't put any raisins at all, because if you watch my show, you know that my kids don't like raisins. You know, it's funny because they'll eat raisins plain, but they don't like it in stuff. They don't like it in buns, they don't like it in puddings, they don't like it in anything. So I kind of forfeit the raisin all the time, but I'm going to put it in this one so I can get to enjoy my bread pudding. And if you notice, I don't put a whole lot of stuff. I don't know if people put cinnamon in their bread pudding. I don't know if they put nutmeg. I don't cook anything with nutmeg. I don't even buy it because I'm deathly allergic to it. And so you can always put those things in the items that you cook that I'm showing you, if that's how you feel, if that's what you want to do that. Nothing is written in stone when we do it here at the Bear Pantry Show, okay? You can always change things around to make it suitable to what you like. I'm cooking the way I like, or the way Joe likes, or the kids, cooking to please my family. So that's 3 condensed, 2 evaporated. We're gonna do some lemon extract, putting 1 teaspoon, and 5 eggs. Just like the last pudding we did, I already whipped the eggs, so I don't need the whisk for here. And we're gonna add the last evaporated milk. Ooh, see how thick it is because of the condensed milk? While stirring, so you see you need a big bowl. And then I'm going to get my Pyrex dish or my baking pan, whichever one I'm going to use, to put the pudding in. And I'm going to pour it out in there, preheat the oven, and set it to cook for 1 hour and 20 minutes like I did with the last pudding. I wanted to show you this part. I'll show you the while it's cooking and the finished product also, but I really wanted to show you this way, because the other way I did a different design with the bread. So here we have the bread pudding. It smells awesome because of that lemon extract. And I'm just going to stir it up a little bit more to make sure everything is well mixed, and I'll put it in that 9x13 Pyrex dish. So I added a little bit of raisins in this, but not a whole lot because I want to pour this out in a pan before I add the rest. So I'm using this pan this time, this aluminum baking pan, instead of that Pyrex thing that I used the last time. I lightly greased it because on this kind of stuff it likes to, see, we don't want a raisin to go like only one spot. It likes to stick, so. Okay, let me get some more raisins from the box. We can kind of plop them in different areas. See, they're stuck together. Just like that. So it's scattered, so not one slice has the raisin and the other slice doesn't have it. So, and I'm really gonna load it up because this is the way I like it. And remember, I already had some in the mixture, so. All right, I think that's enough. Let's put it in the oven on 350 for 1 hour and 20 minutes. This is about an hour later. It's still baking right now. We're gonna give it another 20 more minutes and see what we have. 20 minutes later, our bread pudding is done. Don't forget to put the butter. This is where we just add the butter, because we don't add any butter into the recipe itself while it's baking. Just a little bit. See, this doesn't sound crunchy like the other time when I did the Belizean bread pudding. This is Rosalee's bread pudding. I'm gonna wait for it to cool, and I'm gonna cut you guys the first slice. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 by 4, we got 20 pieces. So this is gonna serve 20 people unless you cut it really, really huge. So let me get out the first slice. I cut a couple of slices to show you. This one I have upside down, so the bottom is showing and it's sitting on the top. But I just want to show you a close-up consistency of how it looks. It's not like the other one I made when I diced the bread and all the gel got trapped on the bottom. See, this is the other slice, and this is sitting the correct way, where it's sitting on the bottom and the top part. Let me show you. See? And that's the way my mom does her bread pudding. So I'm going to call this one Rosalee's bread pudding. Beautiful, isn't it? And you notice we use the same ingredients as we did on the one that's called Belizean bread pudding, where I diced the bread. And we used the same amount of bread, the same amount of eggs, same amount of everything, see? Trying to give you a full 360 so you can see around and around and around. Isn't that just beautiful? So you see how the consistency is a little bit different with my mom's Rosalee's bread pudding versus the Belizean bread pudding that I did in an earlier video, where I diced the bread and I had the custard get trapped on the bottom and form this gel. And with my mom's bread pudding, because all the pieces of bread was mushed up together, it's a little bit different, but it's still more gelatinous than any bread pudding that you'll ever find. And this is the way we've always liked it. This is the only way that I've ever had bread pudding growing up as a child. And anything else that I've tasted has just been awful to me. And so you may like it a different way, more firm, you know, more thick. And this, I like it more jelly, like a jello. And so you can change it accordingly. The thing that makes it jelly is the eggs. So, and of course the bread. So if you wanted a thicker type of bread pudding, you would put more slices of bread and you would put less eggs. But other than that, this is the way my mom Rosalee does her bread pudding. I hope you like it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for picking up my book. And thank you most of all for watching. Until I see you again, take care.